They didn't see the change, right? They didn't see their English improve. I don't necessarily agree with that because I think it's a very common misconception. You will feel a lot more confident speaking English, and that's the whole point, right? What's going on, guys? It's Radek here. Welcome back to the channel. Man, it's been a while since I put out my last regular YouTube video. It's been over a year now. But yeah, 2024 was crazy for me in a good way, but it was very challenging. For those of you who have not seen the post I made on Instagram or here on YouTube, last year I became a dad. I have a beautiful daughter now who I love to death, and she's the apple of my eye. But yeah, last year was a challenge, to say the least. I had expected it to be difficult, right? Becoming a parent is not easy, and I knew that right before my daughter was born, but it was more difficult than I had thought. I'm not gonna lie, I was not practicing English as much as I would have liked, but such is life, right? I decided to prioritize my family, and every other thing in my life kind of took a back seat, and I was okay with it. I've learned how to prioritize things better since I had like a lot less time that I could actually spend practicing English. So I had to focus on things that really matter for me, focus on my weaknesses. So yeah, I have a lot of great topics I want to discuss, a lot of things I want to say here on this channel. So yeah, stick around because it's gonna be worth it. So I decided to talk about confidence in my first video after this year-long break. And this is something I personally still struggle with to a degree, and I know that many language learners, not only English learners, but language learners in general struggle with. So I want to talk about how to become a more confident English speaker, what you can actually do to increase your confidence, and what it actually takes to become confident in speaking a foreign language. But before we get into the points that I wrote down that I want to touch on, I want to mention like very important thing. It is crucial, guys, for you to understand that there are topics that you will be more confident discussing, and there are topics that you will not feel as confident talking about. And this is normal. This goes even for your native language. There are probably things that you feel a lot more confident, you have a lot more to say about them, right? And there are other topics where you have not that much to say. You're not interested in those topics. So let me give you an example. For me, I'm a personal trainer, so I am pretty confident talking about fitness, nutrition, and things related to these two subjects because I respond to my clients' emails in English almost every single day. I listen to and watch fitness content every single day. I research things online to educate myself and become an even better fitness coach. So as you can see, I am surrounded by fitness content on a daily basis. And it's natural for me to feel more confident speaking about strength training and nutrition than it is speaking about fashion or technology. And this is normal. Okay, once we have that out of the way, let's jump into the 5 points I wrote down on how to become a more confident English speaker, or how to increase your confidence in speaking English. Number 1, confidence stems from practice. The more you practice, the better your English gets. And the better your English gets, the more confident you are in using it, right? So practicing and confidence go hand in hand. That's why it is so crucial, guys, for you to actually dedicate time to practicing and being like super consistent with it. Because if you practice, I don't know, English for an hour, like twice a week, or I don't know, once a week, or once every 2 weeks, that's not gonna cut it. And also, I know there are people online who say that practicing English for 5 to 10 minutes is more than enough, right, in order to become a fluent and confident English speaker. I don't necessarily agree with that, and I'll make a separate video on this topic because I think it's a very common misconception. Yes, like it's better than nothing, but if you are really serious about learning English and becoming a confident English speaker, you need more than that. So yeah, I don't necessarily think that practicing 5 to 10 minutes will give you the results that you are chasing, right? And there are people who get upset because like they practice English for 5 to 10, maybe 15 minutes a day, and they don't see the change, right? They don't see their English improve, or it's not happening as quickly as they would like, right? For now, I want you to know that the more you practice, the better your English gets, right? That's obvious. And the better you are at speaking English, the more confident you are. One thing I want to add about practicing English is, like, if you want to increase your confidence relatively quickly, practice speaking about like the most common subjects, right? The most common things you talk about on a daily basis, whether it's with your tutor, your speaking buddy. So for example, I don't know, you can practice speaking about like the weather, about your country, for example, if that's something people often ask you about. Also, if you have like a job interview, you can, I don't know, Google or ask ChatGPT to give you the list of like 20 most common interview questions, and you can try answering them. That will also like help you feel more confident when you go to that job interview. So yeah, let's move on to the point number 2. So number 2, don't compare yourself to others. There is a saying that comparison is a thief of joy, but I also think that comparison can be a thief of confidence. And I'm also guilty of this myself, right? I also tend to compare my English to other people's English. And I don't necessarily think that it is a bad thing. And I've made a video on the subject on how you can actually use comparison to your advantage, how you can compare your English to other people's English, and actually use it as a fuel source, right? Use it as motivation to practice more and to become better. It requires a certain mindset, right? And before you develop that mindset, you're probably better off not comparing yourself at all. Because if you're comparing yourself to someone who's maybe a bit further along in the language learning journey, you might feel discouraged. You might feel worse about your progress, about your English, and it's not going to improve your confidence, right? So try not to compare. I know it's easier said than done, but try not to compare yourself, your English, to other people's English, unless you develop the mindset I talk about in the video that I mentioned. I'll put a link somewhere here. I never know which side it's going to pop up on, so you will see the link somewhere here. So yeah, give this video a shot. Number 3, know that whatever happens during your conversations, you'll be fine. And I'll give you an example. I sometimes have chats with my online coaching clients. They're mostly native English speakers. We usually keep in touch via email, but sometimes they have questions that they want to ask me, like on Zoom, for example. So we schedule a call, and I never know what they're going to ask me about, right? But I know this is the kind of mindset I developed. I know that I will be fine, right? Whatever they ask me, I will be able to give them the answer as long as I know the answer. If I don't know the answer for this particular question, then I'll tell them that I don't know, right? My main goal is to answer their question to the best of my ability. And that's what I do. If sometimes it takes, I don't know, a bit longer, or it's not like the best way to answer this question, or I need to use like very simple vocabulary, which is actually an advantage sometimes, right? Then that's okay. And if they don't understand something, they just ask me for clarification, or if there's like some ambiguity, they ask me to break it down, right, for them. I personally know that whatever happens, I will always find a way to answer this question. And this actually helps a lot, right? This increases your confidence because you know that you will be able to handle almost like any situation. Number 4, very briefly, ask yourself what's the worst that can happen, and also what's the best that can happen. So the worst case scenario, if you have a conversation with someone, is that you make a mistake and they, I don't know, laugh at you. But like, so what? It's not that big of a deal, right? If that's like the worst that can happen, like it's nothing, right? You can, I don't know, decide to never chat with them again, and that's it. And what's the best case scenario? Like you will learn, I don't know, like new vocabulary. You will increase your confidence. You will become a better English speaker. So like the pros actually outweigh the cons, I would say. So yeah, if you think about it, if you ask yourself like these two questions, like what's the best that can happen and what's the worst that can happen, it makes like not even the decision to actually challenge yourself to have that conversation like easier, but it's also like the worst case scenario will not actually happen 99% of the time, right? People are usually kind and they want you to succeed. So yeah, approach every conversation with this kind of mindset and just ask yourself these two questions. That really helps. And last but not least, number 5, embrace the fact that making mistakes is an integral part of the language learning process. And I know that everyone says that making mistakes is okay, right? And at this point, it sounds a bit cliche, but it is true. Making mistakes is absolutely fine. It is not your native language. You have the right to make mistakes. Of course, like mistakes suck, and we are kind of like, we've become, especially like in school, we've become conditioned that making mistakes is bad. But making mistakes when it comes to learning a foreign language is like an inevitable part of the process. And the sooner you realize that and allow yourself to actually make them, you will feel a lot more confident. It will actually take the pressure right off of you, because that you won't feel like you need to be perfect. And if I actually hadn't applied that to recording videos, I wouldn't be making this video right now, because I've probably made at least a couple of mistakes when I'm recording this video, but I'm fine with it, right? The message that I want to share is more important to me, like getting that message across is more important to me than just like the fact that I will make a couple of mistakes. And of course, like practice English, try to make as few mistakes as you possibly can, right? Because that's the point. We want to get better. We want to like master the language, but at the same time, know that making mistakes is absolutely fine. And when you actually realize that, when you accept that fact that you won't avoid making them anyway, you will feel a lot more confident speaking English. And that's the whole point, right? The more confident you are, the more likely you are to actually challenge yourself, like have more conversations, and the faster you will actually improve your English. So guys, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all the likes, all the support. I really appreciate that. It feels really good to be back. Please don't forget to check out the description for all the free stuff that I have available, right, for you to download. My 5-day consistency equals fluency course that will help you like become more disciplined and more consistent in learning English. My mindset changer, if you struggle with negative thoughts and beliefs about your ability to learn English, that will help you a ton. My consistency calendar, if you want to, I think you should, like everyone should be tracking their consistency. So there's also a consistency calendar for 2025 that you can download for free. There's a training program, since I'm a personal trainer. If you want to start your fitness journey, if you want to start lifting weights, it's not only for men, contrary to popular belief, right? It's also for women. There is like a 3 and a 4 day per week option. So you can choose from the one that works better for your schedule. So whether you want to train at the gym or at home with basic equipment, there's everything you need to know to start your fitness journey. And the last link I'll put in the description is the link to my tutor's italki profile. I've been practicing with Desiree, my tutor, for quite a while now. She's helped me a lot and she's amazing. So if you want her to help you improve your English, feel free to book a trial lesson with her if you want. You're not gonna regret it. So that's all I got for today, guys. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, if it helped you, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Number 3, know that whatever happens during uncover. Number 3, know that whatever happens during uncover. During uncovers. during your conversations. Okay, this is actually my little rascal. Her name is Lily. Tata. She can say that, but she doesn't want to. Tata.